Future medicine is the medicine of frequencies. What did Einstein mean? As a physician, as a radiologist, I can tell you this makes total sense. And very quickly did I realize that our entire system was so outdated. And in fact, how we study, how we define health and wellness was so narrow in scope. I realized that there was something fundamentally missing. I found myself traveling to India and very quickly realized that there is an entire discipline of science that we are not exposed to in the West, in the medical education model or otherwise. The science of mind, the science of connection, how to feel deeply connected to yourself, to others, perhaps something greater than ourselves. The science of consciousness. And I recall this light bulb moment when I thought of Einstein when he said everything is energy. Now we can all appreciate this. I mean, if you go to the doctor, we use a blood pressure cuff to measure your blood pressure. An electrocardiogram is measuring the electric current running through your heart. Electroencephalogram is measuring your brain waves. We are energetic beings. And in fact, Nikola Tesla said, if you wish to understand the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Even your thoughts are forms of energy. Our emotions, in fact, are also forms of energy. Now, we can talk about love, but when you experience it, you know it. That lightness, that expansiveness that we may feel, that inclusivity. And yet when we're stressed, when we're anxious, we feel confined and constricted. But when you feel good, when you feel love, compassion, one of these, considered energy renewing emotions, your heart rhythms become very rhythmic and sinus, where the heart begins to speed up and then eventually begins to slow down again. And then it will speed up and slow down. And what we're actually witnessing is the balance between the two arms of the autonomic nervous system, your sympathetic and your parasympathetic. These rhythms from the heart are transferred to the brain. And it has a profound, a very important role because it affects how the brain functions. But imagine times where you're just on fire. You're in the flow of life. That moment, that is a state of coherence. And when that happens, the rhythms from the heart actually synchronizes with the brain waves. So now you get this, what we call in physics, it's entrainment. Your heart rate, your heart rhythm and your brain waves begin to synchronize. And they get phase locked. And then they begin to feed into each other. They grow in amplitude and in strength. This is very important because it affects the areas of the brain that's involved in the way that we think, the way that we act, the way that we perceive information, the ways that which we react or respond to our environment or to others. And in fact, this coherence has been shown to be extremely powerful when it comes to improving mental health. Imagine going to the symphony tonight. We show up early, the musicians are on stage warming up, they're all playing their little piece. The conductor hasn't showed up yet. We'd be sitting in the audience listening to the most incoherent noise. We wouldn't hear any music. But the moment that the conductor shows up, wow, all the musicians are now synchronized and you hear this beautiful, coherent piece of music. The body is no different. In fact, the heart is the conductor, and every biological organ system that we have are musicians in this beautiful symphony called you. And when this happens, just as how the heart pulled the brain waves into synchronization in this entrainment, when you have heart-brain entrainment, it pulls all the other organs into sync, and then they all begin to feed into each other, and they grow in strength and amplitude. So imagine what we're saying now, that you begin to vibrate with this optimal energetic state, this frequency of energy. Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn, many of you may have heard of him, the godfather of mindful base stress reduction therapy. His research showed that when patients with psoriasis, an inflammatory skin condition, when patients learn how to use their mind like a muscle, they healed 4 times faster. Dr. Sarah Lazar from Harvard, she has identified that the mind acts like a muscle. The more that you practice techniques that cultivate coherence, the easier that it becomes. The greater effects, that relaxation effect that is elicited is stronger and becomes easier to practice. Your heart is the largest source of bioenergy. An EKG is literally, you're looking at how the electricity is, the currents running through your heart. Well, Physics 101 says anything that's got electricity running through it also creates a magnetic field. We each have a field of energy around us at 3 to 4 feet in diameter. Just as your heart can pull your brain waves into this beautiful state of entrainment and can pull all your organ systems into entrainment to synchronize and grow in amplitude, you can pull other people into coherence. Imagine what I'm saying now. This isn't just about you. Your thoughts and your intentions, your state of being affects everybody around you. You are going to begin to recognize that every flower, every fruit, every leaf, everything from Mother Nature is dancing with the same rhythm. It flows with the exact same rhythm. We call this, the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, sacred geometry. To be honest with you, I don't care what you label it as. I'm a radiologist. I am more concerned that you learn how to recognize it. Because once you begin to recognize it in Mother Nature, you also begin to recognize it within yourself. When we come together to practice techniques, we're now practicing not just for our own self-care, but we're now practicing with the love of common humanity in mind, because we are so interconnected. So I encourage all of you, go online, find a friend, join a group, join a challenge, start a practice. Even if it's for 5 minutes a day, I guarantee you, you don't have to listen to me, you don't have to listen to critics. I guarantee you, if you take 5 minutes and you begin to tune in to your true nature, you will feel something. And if you stick with it, with intention, I guarantee you, it undoubtedly changes. You are changing your biochemistry, your neurophysiology, the way that we think, process information, your resilience. It's unbelievable. Thank you very much.